Great to have you with us. Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana has described the latest reduction in tariffs as a positive move, which will enable the company to increase its customer base. Public Relations Officer William Boateng told Joy News they have in the past lost customers due to the cost of bills they had to pay compared to alternative sources of power available to them. He believes the reduction means those customers who would ordinarily switch to alternative power will now return to the ECG for the same service at a cheaper cost. He spoke in an interview on the back of the implementation of the latest tariff reductions, which take effect today.
Frankly speaking, the challenge with revenue mobilization has to do with the cost. In fact, prior to this announcement, we have on record that some of the SLT customers or high or commercial customers were middle of the month decides to forgo ECG and then they switch to alternative power supply because of the cost, because of the progressive nature of the tariff, for example. So we are having customers consuming less. Now with the reduction, we anticipate that they are all coming back and there will be no need for them to switch because it's almost the same based on the analysis we've made. So we think that it's possible going forward. When we increase our customer population, we increase the consumption. Despite the fact that the margins might be small, of course, cumulatively, we'll make it. So when we increase the numbers, we are able to now entice them from using alternative power supply, and we spread and we increase the consumption and more customer population. We'll make it and be able to address our financial needs going forward. So we think it is positive. It's just the initial challenge that we have. We are hoping that we'll also improve on our area of customer service at the district level and then get customers goodwill along the line so that we'll have any hassle in mobilizing our revenue because of the credit system. They consume before you go and you beg them to pay. And immediately they begin to toss you and pay part, and then others are indulging in illegal connection. It has a serious negative effect on our operations. We are doing, I'm not saying that it is very easy. There's nothing easy in this world, in fact, but we are doing well. We have intensified our revenue mobilization programs along the various districts and regions. It will interest you to note that we are utilizing a lot of our trainees from the schools, and we are now zoning. Let me put it in simple terms. Now we move from district to district, and we are sweeping districts. What it means that when we come to an area, commercial center, we visit virtually every household or every premise, for example, such that we can check the integrity of the wiring and the supply, whether people have tempered or what have you. I mean, we are just taking the integrity of a system we are running to ensure that people are paying for what they are consuming. We don't want to cheat anybody. Anybody should not cheat us. It's as simple as that. Both ways, let's be fair to each other. And we are doing this exercise across the country in order to work on our revenues.
Now, moving on, traders who do business near President Akufo-Addo's private residence at Nima have started packing out. National Security gave them till end of day today to vacate the premises, which has now been declared a security zone. Though they had been paid compensation, the traders say their relocation will be disastrous as their upkeep depends on this trade at this location and the monies paid them are inadequate. They risk being forced out if they fail to comply by end of day today. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba visited the area this morning and reports.
Today is the deadline for these squatters to move from this place, the frontage of the residence of the President Akufo-Addo. When we arrived here, the people that we've seen here this morning have started parking their items on their own volition. In fact, we've not seen any security persons compelling them to park the items. They tell us that they are doing this because they've been informed that in some hours an earth-moving machine will be moving here. Now, this woman behind me, who is not willing to talk to us, she says that she is moving to her hometown right about now, and she's getting ready to move to her hometown because she says she does not have a place to move to here in Accra. Majority of the people here are not willing to talk to us because they say that we have not done, the media especially, has not done enough advocacy for them.
Because my bread, my baby, I am here. And I said, I need to be my papa. Say that nothing. I mean, Shirano. Anything be a better baby, beba. Baby will be a beba better yaba. Tana meets me.
Well, she agreed to talk to us. What she's saying now, however, is that I mean, she's spoken a lot on this particular subject, and now they've agreed that they're going to move. She says she has headache, and that even if they move from this place, anytime there's an election, in fact, they will come back here to come and vote for the president. I sense some sarcasm in there. She's not too excited about what's happening. She's cleaning tears from her eyes right now. The other time we spoke to her too, that was her stage when we spoke to her the other time also. She was crying. A lot of the residents here are not too happy about what is happening, but they tell me that they would have to move because they've been told to do so. When you come here, I mean, they've started packing and they're ready to leave. I've met another woman who sells here. She's been doing this for years. Okay. Well, she says she has not found a new place. Right now, she's taking all her items to her house as she scouts for a new place.
If I show you.
Saying compensation, send on mom.
If I try no moment, Yamisi and Kanokara said, I was in the Maya. And Koyi and a mad and a spread day, and Tino said you'll be anti me and Canadian, and so made in a part of them also.
What was it? A boom sang come with
tea, and then a mass, I'm not throw a yak or yak a sinner. And Tino, and no part of the men's media part of them also.
Okay, she's not willing to disclose how much was given to her in that compensation package because she says it didn't really go well. I mean, for a lot of the people occupying this place. She said, "Business no, a best say an answer."
If I chose to say, "Mama, make a say, Mum, party, meet me, I say, into Effie and Sana." Maybe say, "I'm a madam, mania baby, I could reason."
Okay. Well, she thinks this relocation is going to destabilize her business, and then she is hoping that when she moves to another place, she'll be able to revamp her food business.
Away from that, preliminary investigations by the Environmental Protection Agency EPA reveal an excessive use and presence of cyanide in illegal mining activities in Aboso in the western region. This follows the arrest of 4 illegal miners suspected for using toxic substances, including zinc and cyanide, in the operations by the Anti-Galamsey Task Force Operation Vanguard. The EPA says it's sending samples to the laboratory for further examination. Here's a report by Ohiming Terrier.
The arrest comes a day after the Operation Vanguard team arrested 7 Chinese and 20 local illegal miners in Bremang and Brofuyedu in the central region. The illegal miners, who have been operating from 6 different sites few meters away from the Aboso township, had set spies to alert them of any intruders. But they were outwitted on Tuesday morning by the Anti-Galamsey Task Force, who invaded the camp and arrested 4 of them, including one Bright Odro, described as the kingpin. Public Relations Officer of Operation Vanguard, Squadron Leader Omani Ejay, has been explaining to Joy News how the illegal miners were arrested.
These illegal miners are intelligent, but just that they are using their intelligence in a wrong way. So after the reconnaissance, our men came in, and the number of people that were here, a lot of them, but most of them escaped, but they were able to apprehend 3. And the 3 led them to one of the owners of the shed, and that particular owner was also arrested, so making 4 in all, and they are now at the Aboso police station and pending further investigations and possible prosecution.
Senior Programs Officer at the Takwa office of the EPA, Moses Musak Pebu, tells my colleague Ohiming Terrier EPA is concerned about the harmful effect of cyanide on human and animal lives as well as the environment.
Cyanide is, so far as small-scale mining is concerned, is illegal. You know, they are a little bit reckless, and it kills instantly. When you are using cyanide, you can be killed within 5 minutes when you ingest it.
Mr. Pebu warns boreholes could be contaminated as cyanide. Meanwhile, Mr. Pebu warns boreholes could be contaminated as cyanide could settle on the underground water.
The way they constructed the facility, it's possible it can seep into underground water bodies. And the recharge, nobody knows where you pick your borehole water from. You can be even in Takwa or wherever, and your recharge will be coming from Aboso. So you can be in Takwa and you have cyanide in your water coming from Aboso, or maybe even somewhere in Takwa, depending on where the recharge is coming from.
Ohiming Terrier's report for Joy News.
Let's go on the phone lines and speak further with Ohiming Terrier on this matter. Ohiming, so where are you now and what more can you report?
Thank you, Daniel. We are currently in Aboso, but we just returned from the site where the Environmental Protection Agency officials and the Operation Vanguard team have teamed up to ensure that residents are not allowed to get closer to the scene as EPA begins investigation into the presence of cyanide, which they say is in large quantity.
So what are the residents saying about this?
Unfortunately for residents of Aboso, many of them are not aware of the dangers associated with cyanide, though about 100 of them took part in this illegal mining activity, and they have been using what officials of the EPA described as banned substance. They haven't revealed or tell residents of the harm that this particular chemical could cause to life, especially human and animals, and also on the environment. So many of them are not aware. Even when I try to speak to some of them, they wouldn't even understand all that we are talking about. They see it as being part of their day-to-day activity. They use it for their mining activities, and they have no idea what harmful effects it could present to them. But the EPA is also sounding a word of caution to residents. Now, if you live in a community, you should be mindful of this almond smell. If you take water and it smells almond, if you animal in your community or your house takes water, particular water, and die, then you should be concerned. If you are fetching water from a stream where you can't find any fish in that particular stream, you should be particularly concerned about the fact that it could be contaminated with cyanide. So residents of Aboso and Takwa in this environment are being warned.
Thank you very much, Ohiming Terrier, for that report. We come back to the Greater Accra region now, and this place has for decades been the one-stop shop for meat production for many parts of Accra's inhabitants. The Tulaku livestock market at Ashaiman here in Accra has been serving the protein needs of Ghanaians, especially during festivities. But beyond nourishing yourself, do you know how Tulaku came to be known for the trade in livestock? Well, as part of our Ghana Month series on names of places, Komla Adom has been finding out the story behind Tulaku, that name Tulaku, and it's a Hausa word which laid the foundation for the trade.
It's a community at Ashaiman here in Accra noted for the sale of livestock. The community, whose existence dates back to the early 60s, now sits in the center of the municipality. Alhaji Moro Akakade is over 50 years and has lived the years right here since the community was relocated to its present place in the late 1980s.
Tulaku community started early 60s. It was early 60s in Ashama Township. After the traffic light, Ashama traffic light, coming towards Ashama Secondary School, Tamato Ashama on your left, that Tulaku started, early 60s. At this, our present day here, we came here somewhere 86, 87, that Tulaku moved to this place.
From where I stand, an announcement in the community mosque is drawing some of the residents to the mosque, but many more of them are seen in the market. This is a Tulaku livestock market. But ever wondered what it meant for a community to be named Tulaku? Alhaji Moro Akakade, who is national chairman of the Livestock Breeders and Traders Association, has lived here long enough to know.
Tulaku is an Hausa word The lock that will normally bury and tie other small ruminant or big ruminant, either cow or goat and sheep, that is Turkey. So if there are a lot of them, in Hausa language they say Turkey. So the Turaku come about Turkey, then Turaku.
The market is a big crowd, the size of 3 football fields. There is cow dung everywhere, making the ground here look green and dark. The pungent smell from the dung is so intense. But you don't have a choice if you want to buy a cow, sheep, or goat. You simply have to come to Tulaku. There are hundreds of stamps in this kraal. For every animal here, there is a stamp. These stamps are called Turki in the Hausa language. They are of different sizes and heights, sunk deep down into the ground. With ropes, the animals are fastened to these stamps to limit their movement.
One lock is Turkey, and so many of them are Turkawa. So we have to make it Turaku. Yes, that is.
The young, the old are responsible for feathering the animals, something that's been passed from generation to generation.
Our old men who were traders, now retired.
So as the Easter festivities approach, you now know where you can go for your meat. You're still watching Joy News today, and still stories that we've done so far. Ghanaians will be waiting a couple more weeks to pay lower electricity tariffs. But the Electricity Company of Ghana, of course, has let us know that they are implementing the new tariff structure today. But the new tariffs will be paid in 2 weeks. But still to come, it's Tech Thursday today. And we put a spotlight on research collaborations at the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani to predict weather more accurately. Now, as part of our Ghana Month series on the occasion of the country's 61st independence anniversary, Multimedia's Fantastic Four tour comes off this Saturday at Afajato in the Volta region. We'll also be telling you about that in this bulletin. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the national disaster of June 3 left an indelible mark in the history of Ghana. Questions about whether or not an accurate weather prediction could have averted that disaster remain unanswered. What is not in doubt is that thousands of poor farmers across the country could be saved financial losses and disheartening experiences if weather patterns are predicted accurately and accessibly. And now for our Science and Technology segment, Tech Thursday today, Gifty and Rapia puts the spotlight on research collaborations at the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani to predict weather more accurately.
Hundreds of people were killed in what was popularly called the twin disaster. It was flood and fire at the same time. It has yet to be clearly established whether or not the meteorological agency predicted the downpour and if that prediction was taken seriously in the first place. That raises the age-old question about reliability of the Meteo Agency's predictions over the years. These satellites have the power to make weather prediction in Ghana extremely accurate and accessible through a mobile app.
From our research, measurement weather prediction in the Gulf of Guinea, it means where Ghana falls in, is very difficult because of the effects that are on the ocean.
That is Dr. Amos Kaboba, Director of Earth Observation Research and Innovation at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. He's explaining how accurate weather predictions in tropical areas are harder to achieve. Perhaps we can cut the Ghana Meteorological Agency some slack. looking at how the satellite station here at the university is one of 9 similar stations established all over the world to collect and process atmospheric data.
We can see a 5-day weather prediction, then some of the weather conditions there.
They are connected to these servers from which the data collected are analyzed to predict weather patterns accurately.
The other data products that we also receive to find out where fishermen will actually get a lot of catch. Because
it is part of work being done by the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration of the USA in collaboration with the Taiwan National Space Organization.
These data will be used to support atmospheric sounding all around the world from space-based satellites, because there are extreme weather events having human cost as well as economic costs. The measurements from these types of systems help scientists really learn about those movements over time. And this partnership, together with the University of Energy and Natural Resources, is a very important contribution to the Cosmic 2 mission.
They're making use of Ghana's strategic position on the earth and expertise of staff at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. Ghana gets to cash in on the benefits.
We are in discussion with the Ghana Meteorological Agency because practically Ghana seems to have very few weather stations. And this is a challenge for the authority in order to predict precisely on the prevailing weather conditions. So what we are planning, we are already discussing with them that with this new system, the data that we will collect will also feed into the Ghana Meteorological Agency so that they can better know in real time what is happening.
In 2015, a Joy News documentary highlighted how national best farmers, despite their agricultural clout, were running into huge losses. Their plants were drying up because of weather pattern inconsistencies, an obvious result of climate change. Clearly, a worrying trend which is only getting worse by the year. But the good news is there is a tech solution.
Our agriculture said that almost 80 or more % of it is rain-fed. It means that they depend on how much rainfall comes. Now, over the years, we've realized that this pattern is changing from north to south. So with the weather prediction, first of all, it will help the farmer to know at least, and with a good estimate, the time for planting, to also help the farmers to have something we call seasonal forecasting. Seasonal forecast will also help them to know in advance maybe certain measures they need to put in place before they take up the farming business.
I have come to the University of Energy and Natural Resources seeking clarification on how the satellite stations grounded here can help solve the nation's problems.
We have had a number of discussions with the Minister of Food and Agriculture. In fact, we have discussed at length, and there's a proposal that we have put together with the idea of trying to forecast food prices. We also have some collaborations also with the Ministry of Science.
I am told a simple collaboration between this university and the Ghana Meteorological Agency is the key to achieving weather forecast reliability that many Ghanaians are yearning for, farmers being the biggest beneficiaries. The question is, how does this tech solution reach the everyday beneficiaries, you and me included?
As a center, we are also looking at the possibility of integrating this system as mobile application that everybody can access and know what is happening. The mobile application will simply be an app that can run on either the Android or the Apple phones that we find. You'll be able to tell the temperature or the rainfall, and you have an advice note, let me call it health note.
With government spending thousands on its flagship Planting for Food and Jobs policy, here is a starting point for reliable weather patterns for farmers. It will help government know how strategic it can place the dams proposed for each village. Truth be told, all of these will remain talk in the absence of any concrete financial backing. In the next Tech Thursday, we'll tell you how the Ghana National Fire Service can leverage this partnership to detect fire outbreaks. Gifty Andopia, Joy News, Sunyang in the Bunahafo region.
Still watching Joy News today. I am Daniel Dice. Now, the second No Multimedia's Fantastic Four Tour comes off this Saturday at Afajato in the Volta region. The Fantastic Four Tour is aimed at promoting the country's tourism potential. It's a part of activities lined up by the Multimedia Group in marking our Ghana Month series on the occasion of the country's 61st independence anniversary. Well, already, the Multimedia Group has visited 3 locations in Cape Coast as part of the Ogwa Conquest. That was the first of the Fantastic Four Tour, where patrons visited the Kakum National Park, used the Canopy Walkway, the Hans Cottage Hotel, and also the Cape Coast Castle. So the Afajato climb, as you can see on your screen there, comes off on the 17th of March. The price is 180 Ghana cedis. It comes off this Saturday. And so any interested persons can send monies to 024 4466803, 02444 680-603, and those are the numbers that will be available for you for this Saturday's trip. Also coming up this month will be the trip to Nzulezu, the village on stilts, on the 24th of March. The price for that trip will be 250 Ghana cedis for the day trip and 600 Ghana cedis for the overnight trip. And the kayaking on Lake Volta will come off on the 31st of March, 350 Ghana cedis for that one. Do join us for that trip. It promises to be an exciting event. But that's it for us for now. We'll take a quick breather, and when we come back, Emmanuel Labajiri gives you business.